Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify. It's Q with yet another amazing video from Amiga's most poorly produced, underproduced YouTube channel available. I'm sure they would love to pay me millions of dollars to run this channel, but what we're going to talk about today, and I know as soon as you hear what I'm about to say, if you've already clicked past my kind of clickbait title, you may just run away from this video. This is going to be only sort of, a LightWave video. Now please, don't click away. But what I want to talk about is something a little different, a little more mischievous, all right? Because even way back in the day, companies were doing shenanigans, trying to, game the system, cheat, if you will. And what I'm talking about is this. Good old LightRAVE, the toaster emulator.
This computer will rule the world.
Okay, so here we are with the toaster emulator by Warm and Fuzzy Logic. What the hell is that? They did actually sell this for around $250 to $300, so this little sticker up here that says $249, that's actually not that far off. I did not pay $249 for this, by the way. But LightWave without the toaster? The solution is LightRAVE. What these rather clever individuals decided to do was, well, how to say this? A lot of people love the video toaster from NewTek. It allowed you to have a TV studio in a box, in your computer, at home, or deployed wherever you'd put it. A lot of churches used it back in the day, by the way, but plenty of places. A lot of cable places used it. But very quickly, one of the neat things about LightWave, as we all know and love, is that it is a very robust, very user-friendly 3D piece of software. Something that, gosh, like almost anybody can pick up and learn and have a lot of fun with. And more people wanted to experience LightWave and use LightWave, but the entry price was like $1,600 because you had to buy, well, frankly, you had to buy one of these, a video toaster, the amazing video toaster from NewTek. This giant, huge card had to get jammed into your Amiga, and at the time, only the Amiga 2000 and 2500 could even fit it. There was a hack you could do with your Amiga 3000 to cram it in there. Not recommended, by the way. And that was just kind of ridiculous for some folks. I mean, some folks didn't care that it was a $1,500, $1,600 price tag or more, honestly, in some cases, to get just LightWave out of it. Many were begging NewTek, please release this software. Release it as a standalone piece of software we can purchase. But there was no way in heck that NewTek was going to do that because they realized what they had on their hand. And what they had on their hand was an awesome piece of software that was the killer, one of the many killer apps of the video toaster. Now, the video toaster itself had many other killer apps, especially for people that were into video production, that absolutely would love to use. But for the 3D artist who was aspiring to create awesome things like they saw on TV at the time, like Sequest and Space Above and Beyond and Babylon 5, back in those early days, even Stargate in some ways, this was the software they wanted to get their hands on, and you had to buy a video toaster. Now, before you start Googling, yes, NewTek did eventually release LightWave as a standalone product. They finally released it, and it came with a dongle. You plugged it in your computer, your Amiga, and your Mac, and your PC, and all these other like Sun Microsystems, a bunch of computers. And you could actually run it standalone, which was really cool. But some folks were a little impatient, I guess is the polite word to use, and they decided to go ahead and, well, figure out all of these software calls that the LightWave software made to the toaster. Whenever you use the LightWave software, sure, you could just crack it and you could get a crack, right? And that's what, okay, a lot of people just went onto the BBS boards and downloaded the crack of LightWave. But another company thought, well, instead of just cracking it, because we can't make any money with a crack, why don't we try and make, I guess, a legitimate crack? So all of the software hacking and cracking, all the software that would intercept all the calls to the video toaster, they packaged into this, a little dongle, the LightRAVE dongle, all right? And this thing plugs into your port and it allow you to run LightWave without a toaster. Hence this is your toaster emulator. So they take the big giant toaster card, they take this thing, and they smash it down into this. So surely this is completely legal and legit, right? You're just saying, hey, you know, we kind of like Compaq did with the original IBM PC. They reverse engineered the toaster's, you know, programming that LightWave is using to hit it up for verification and made this dongle. So put this software on the shelf, right? Put this software on the shelf and sell it because we can, because it's not a crack, it's just an emulator for the toaster. So you can run the LightWave software. I mean, that makes perfect and total sense, right? Now, they couldn't legally provide you with a copy of LightWave. Let me make that clear. They couldn't legally provide you with a copy of LightWave. That for sure was illegal, like not even, without even a question. Because is NewTek going to license LightWave to them? No. Did NewTek provide a demo of the software that, if it was made aware of a toaster, would work? No. So you still had to get a copy of LightWave software, and you could get that from a toaster install, all right? But if you plug this dongle in, the software would start working. And that was their gag. That's how they thought they could get away with it. They're not providing the LightWave software. They're just providing the toaster emulator for you. You plug this in and fire up LightWave. Did NewTek notice? Yes, they noticed. What happened was this LightRAVE software, it did work, but NewTek ultimately and eventually shut them down, I believe, in under a year. Cease and desist, you know, lawsuits, that kind of thing, pretty much killed it, which is why this LightRAVE software, this box software, which I am thrilled to have been able to find on eBay. I am still shocked. Thank you, whoever put this up, by the way. I know maybe this was sitting in someone's garage or attic. This is probably one of the most rare pieces of production type software you can get for your Amiga. I'm not kidding. This is incredible. I mean, I would say probably the second most is the standalone Amiga LightWave in a box, which I've only seen one in my entire life on eBay, and it was the PAL version. It sold from some guy in Australia was selling it. But this LightRAVE software is incredible because it was only out for like 6 months to a year. And NewTek shut it down, of course, but a little weird thing happened, right? Because now this software, this LightRAVE software and its dongle was out there, and it actually allowed people to get that dongle because the dongle was not protected in any way. They could plug it into a little box, whatever, and they could decode everything. And they, like, the entire cracking scene had access to all of the calls that the LightWave software was making to the toaster. Basically, the cracking community now had the ability to always crack LightWave because they had all of the toaster calls. So whenever NewTek came out with a new version of LightWave, LightWave 3.1, 3.5, 4.0, blah, 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 5.0, they could just crack it. In fact, a lot of the LightWave cracked software that people used back in the day was the LightRAVE version of it, which is hilarious, I think. I just thought that was incredible how that sort of, a company decides to come out with a piece of software that will allow you to run the LightWave software for like $200, $300 instead of, $1,500 to $2,000. But then the cracking community was like, well, hey, thanks. And they, of course, instead of cracking LightWave, they just cracked the LightRAVE software because it was much easier because they basically gave the key away with the dongle. I mean, there you go. I just thought that was really funny. And I wanted to share that with you. And why this, by the way, why is this pinball thing taking so long? Because it's got motion blur on it. Let's just turn that all off here and let's increase the segment memory to something not ridiculous and see if we can get, it's also tracing reflections and shadows. So yeah, this is taking a little bit here. Go ahead and fire that back up for you. So my point with this whole video was just, man, I love the cracking scene. You guys out there that are still around back in the day that did this stuff. But also, I got to give Warm and Fuzzy Logic a lot of kudos for even trying to do this. I mean, I can kind of see what they were thinking. We're not providing the software. We're just providing an emulator for the toaster that we reverse engineered. And I mean, that does hold some water. I mean, that's how Compaq got away with it with the IBM PC in their BIOS, but I don't know, here you go. It's like, I saw a lot of Amigas that came into my store back in the day for service, and I'd see that they had LightWave installed, and I would see that it would have been the LightRAVE crack, which I thought was really kind of funny. So that's it. Just wanted to let you guys know about the software, this LightRAVE software, because I make a lot of LightWave videos on this channel. And yeah, this little wacky thing existed, and I am just super thrilled that I somehow was able to get a physical copy of it, a big box copy of it. There was only big box copies of it back in the day, actually. And it's a neat little chapter in the Amiga history of people trying to kind of work around demand. And I guess, did this drive New Tech to release Lightwave standalone? Did this motivate them that, wow, there really is a big market out there for it? Possibly, it may be. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, when New Tech released Lightwave standalone, it was not $250. I believe it was around $500 or $700. So pretty chunky in the price point. But they at least finally did it. And maybe this Warm and Fuzzy Logic guys, maybe they're the ones that made it happen. I don't know. But I thank them so much for being this neat little weird slice of history in Lightwave. And I thank all of you for watching. All right. I think I'm done with this video.